We're live.
We're live. So, and I'm not alone today. I'm so excited to share my friend Jared Brown with you guys. The biggest goal for ECFIT has always been to help as many people as possible move better, get stronger, race faster, and I'm not afraid to share my intellectual property. So I heard that on another YouTube channel with their strength coach. We're going to show you some exercises, but we're not going to put a program together for you because it's his intellectual property. Well, I challenge you. I'm going to give you everything I know. So Jared and I have been friends. He's obviously, if you follow me on Facebook, he's the cover boy for the ECFIT Strength Facebook group, has been for quite some time. But Jared, I'm just going to hand the mic off to you. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what you're doing, and why this is going to be a great relationship.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. My name's Jared Brown. I'm from South Africa. I own a endurance sports team called Peak. And yeah, I met Erin 6 years ago, and we've been working on this journey for a long time, from being a little sprog to professional triathlete to moving on into helping more people. My full-time job is helping my wife be a professional athlete. And other than that, we try to help as many people as we can. And we are going to bring that all to you on our YouTube live videos and expand on that as much as we can.
So I'll be going on Mondays, and Jared and Emma Talent
Brown.
I always say it wrong. I like to put a little flair to it. So Jared's wife is Emma Talent Brown, and I sometimes just call her Emma Brown.
Yeah, it's a transition phase.
It's a transition phase.
2021 is Palin Brown. Next year will just be Brown. Once we've got all the documentation, passports, wedding certificates, all of that stuff.
So I think the proof is in the pudding. But the most important thing is that you're here today. Mondays are going to be Mobility Mondays because we're assuming that you've had a really big weekend. I personally climbed almost 10,000 feet on my bicycle. I just got back from a shakeout run, which is a very, very easy run. The harder you train on the weekends, the easier your Monday needs to be, so that all of your fitness can kind of come up a little bit. And then Tuesday gets to be a harder day, Wednesday a little bit of an easier day, Thursday is a little bit of a harder day, but I'll kind of walk you through how we rock our week, okay? So Jared and I are going to take you through a mobility day. We're going to start with ankles, and I'm actually going to probably take a little bit more of a coaching role today with Jared because I have the advantage of working with him today here on the channel. I think I might have you come next Monday too. Yeah, we could probably do that. Okay, so I've got a pillow from one of my lawn chairs. And what I'm going to do with Jared, because I've been working with him for quite a while, I'm going to raise his toes up just a little bit to put him into a more of a dorsiflex position. So go ahead and just dorsiflex your toes, Jared. And all we're going to do, guys, is just a very gentle, linear knee drive. And we're working connective tissue. So when we work connective tissue, and as I watch Jared moving, you can see there's a lot of bowing going on. And what we really want, watch, Jared, turn sideways, because we're going to do this together. Just face, yeah, that'll work. Yeah, we'll face each other. What we want is knee drive. So you can see my ankles are just a little bit more mobile than his. It could be because I have toes light up. But you guys, all I want you to do is knee drive, knee drive. Now, all these, if you're a fitness person, you're like, oh my God, your knees are going over your toes. That's horrible. But trust me, everything you do, we need to get your knees over your toes. So we're moving kind of rhythmic. One of our key categories is rhythm and timing. We just want to feed the nervous system to feed the connective tissue so that we can get the ankles more mobile. Okay, relax. Let's take your toes off of that elevated. A 2x4 works really well. Or some of you might even have a balance board, all right? So let's go knee drives again. Keep your upper back nice and high, and just keep the hips back behind you. That's it. We're going 10 reps. 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Okay, we're gonna do exactly the same thing. Go down on one knee. Jared, just face the light there. We're just gonna go kind of side by side here. So the next one we're going to do, we're going to take that same rhythm and timing. Here comes Deacon, the star of the show. So we're going to take that same rhythm and timing into the hip capsule. Okay, we're going 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just bouncing in and out, and that's not a bad thing. If you have a comment, you want a question, definitely ask questions. It'll only help all of us. 10. Good, switch to the other side. When your focus is connective tissue, it's okay to bounce a little bit. If you have a torn labrum or if you have a hip issue, stay behind the baby gate when it comes to pain. If you feel unstable or you feel any pain, then I want you to just move less. There's no big advantage to moving more or less. We're just feeding movement into the capsule. And 10. Good. All right. Next thing we're going to do is just a little bit of airplane arms. Jared has like the freaking giant wingspan, but put him over here just a little bit. We're just going to go big airplane arms, and we're going to do it in the horizontal plane. Let the whole body move. Let your hips move. See how I'm getting skinny as I turn sideways? Let everything rotate. This is a fascial line called the spiral line. I very rarely look at individual muscles and training muscles one at a time in isolation. The body just doesn't function that way. If you're a bodybuilder, shake that out, guys. We're gonna take that same movement, go into a wide stance. Feet just outside of shoulder width. We're gonna take that same airplane arms, drive the hips back just a little bit, about 3 or 4 inches. And all we're gonna do now is just rotate. Now you're gonna feel that little bit as I reach through the bottom half of with my hand, how my hips rotate. And you start to, let's go swaying side to side. Let the hips start to move side to side. So as you reach left, load left. Reach right, there you go. Start gliding just through your hips, just a little bit. 5, 4, smooth and fluid. 3, 2, good, and 1. All right, so we started down at the ankles, we moved into the hips, we moved through the thoracic spine. Stability without mobility is tightness. Most of you woke up tight. Okay, so now we're just gonna move through knee, knee, foot, foot, ankle, ankle. And this is something we want you to be able to do before you get on the bike, before you hit the track, anything like that. So we're gonna go knee, knee, foot, foot, and then ankle, and ankle. And as we start to get to know ourselves a little bit better, you want to start recognizing, how hard is that for me? Is this easy? Or is it starting to push me into the back seat a little bit? Stay in the front seat. Foot, foot. We're going to go around 5 times, so you're going to be patient. Ankle, ankle. Going back to knee. I'm going to go side view. Knee, knee. When you grab your foot, is your knee behind your other foot? Or is it way out here? That'll show you got some tightness. Ankle, ankle. Knee, knee, foot, foot, ankle, ankle. One more round. Knee, knee. Say it with me. Foot, foot. Good. And you can start to see there's a little bit of rhythm to that. And when we get rhythmic, Deacon, can you move so you can see my feet? There you go. He's a good boy. We're going to take a split stance. When we take a split stance, and I love because Jared's done this, look at your back foot. External rotation would pull us into that position with the hips, and your foot would be turned out. If anything, I want your foot to turn in. One of our key principles is that the strength is in internal rotation. The weakness and when you become really vulnerable around your hip position, around your knees, around your ankles, when your hips are open. Okay, so let's make sure that the back foot is nice and straight, hips are square. By virtue of just hip mobility, your back hip is actually dropped. You don't have to do anything with that, okay? Float your hands to the height of your heart. You can see Jared from the side, beautifully 50-50 weight distribution there. If your right leg is back, and if it isn't right now, change it. Right. Everybody, right leg back. We're going to take the right thumb into the left palm. The first move is to open up the right hip. We're going into the archer. Elbow nice and high. Take a big breath, and then come right back. We're going to go 5 archers. Open the hip, elbow up. Come on back. 2. And you can feel right there, external rotation of the hip, but right here, internal rotation. Elbow up. When the elbow comes up and we pull the bow back, start to lift your rib cage. Elevate the rib cage away from the hip joint. 1 more. Good and good. So that really worked. Internal rotation into that left hip. So now we're going to go other side. We've got a 50-50 weight distribution. Give you a little bit of a side view so you're not leaning forward, straight up and down. 2 points of contact on your back foot, 3 points on the front. That means your heel's on the ground. Left leg back, left thumb into the right palm. Open that up. 1. Start to inhale right here. 2. You can see Jared and I are huge. We're both over 6 feet tall. 3. So we're making ourselves at least 6'1", 6'3", 6'4", whatever. We're getting taller on every one, but you can see right here the hip is open, and right here the hip is closed. 1 more rep here. Open, elbow up, and back down, and shake that out. Okay, next move, we're going to do a little bit of anchoring, and this is going to be muscle activation. So when we mobilize first, the second thing we're going to do is start to activate and bring muscles in. So let's go right foot back. Big toe is strong and tucked under. We're in that same position, but from this position, we're going to float the hands to the height of the heart, and I want you to now activate a scissoring-like motion. So you're going to pull your back quad forward and your lead hamstring back. So we're going to switch on. We're going to anchor strong. Ready? Hold that strong. Take a nice big breath. Anchor strong. Pull. 5. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. We're going to stay with that for 1 more time. On your lead leg, you should feel that glute really firing. Ready? Hands to the heart, fingertips together, anchor strong. Pull together like a scissor. Back with the front leg, front forward with the back leg. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and good. So now the brain's starting to get active. The muscles are starting to switch on. Right leg in front of left. 2 points contact on that back foot. Float the hands to the front. Ready? Pull the right leg back, left leg forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. That felt a little cleaner, I bet. Ready? Other side. Hold it strong. Ribs are high. Anchor. Strong. Back leg pulling forward. Front leg pulling backward. Hold. 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right. This next movement is going to look kind of dumb. Everything we've done, the last 3 movements, is from foundation training from Dr. Eric Goodman. He's not only a good friend, he is a really, really, really smart guy, and he's a great teacher. So knees together. This now, we're going to activate the inner thigh. So we want to drop the hips to the back just a little bit, bend the knees, toes together, heels apart, knees together. And from right here, let's go ahead and float the hands to the height of the heart. Hips are back, and we're just going to squeeze the knees. Anchor in. 5, 4, don't look down. Make sure you're looking up at your computer or your screen, wherever you're streaming from. Hold. 2, 1, and relax. Now we're going to add a little bit of dynamic mobility. Jared, just stay in front of me. We're just going to go a nice big lateral step. Make sure that that lead foot is in and the lead knee is in. So I'm going to stand right here. We're going to go to the left. I don't really care which direction y'all go. Stay right where you are, Jay. We're good. Okay, so when you land, just make sure that that lead knee isn't flaring out. We want to anchor in. And as we start to become friends and I become your strength coach here every Monday, we want this cueing to become easier and easier. So as we land, Anchor in. 3, 4, hips to the back. You notice I throw my hands to the front because it encourages my butt to go even further back. Hip hinging is a big topic. And we'll be working hard on some really good hip hinging. So when we're in the off season, we can have ECFIT Strength on YouTube. Good. All right, other side. And we're not purposely going slower or faster or anything. We're just moving at a nice dynamic pace. Ready? Step into the right. 1, let's go 10 together. 2, you should feel a slight stretch in that trail leg. 3, 4, keep those eyes up. I noticed I just dropped my head. 5, 6, hips to the back. 7, good. 8, one more. 9, I actually lied, one more. 10, right there, that's the position. Pulling that knee underneath the shoulder, hips are way back. Hands are way to the front. And you start to feel that gentle stretch on the inner thigh. So let's go into that. Feet just outside of shoulder width. Slight internal rotation of your foot position. So right here on the outside of Jared's foot, it's a pretty straight line. I want him to parallel both feet. And that puts your hips into that position of strength. From right there, we're going to drop the hips back just a little bit. Take the hands into what we call long wing in foundation training. Scoop from the bottom. We want to activate a low trapezius here. So we're working into the upper back slightly. Drop your shoulder blades. Open your clavicles. From right here, everybody, anchor in. Fire the muscles. Inner thigh. Elbows are low. There's not that much tension in your upper body. There's tension in your lower body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come right back out of that. Hands stay in long wing. We want to stay out of your upper trap. We're going to activate low trap in just a second with Jared. Okay, nice and wide. I'm going to cue you with your big toes on this next one. Into long wing. Push your hips back. Elbows are low. Elbows are quite relaxed. Anchor in. And the way I want you to anchor in now is I want you to pull your big toe and try and push it into the direction of the opposite heel. Push from your big toe on your right into your left heel. So you're getting this internal rotation, internal rotation. That's it. And you start to activate all of those inner thigh muscles, come back out. From right here, we're going to go right back into that very gentle lateral step and return. And by definition, a step and return is a lunge. All right? Nice straight feet. Ready? Here we go for 10. Drop. 1. Push those hips back. 2. Good. Hands to the front. 3. Start to feel how when you reach your hands further forward, you're asking your lats to lengthen, and your hips and your lats are starting to become better friends. And when everybody's a friend, trust me, it's all good. Let's go one more time. Good. Same thing, other side. This motion should be getting easier and easier. We're feeding your fascial system. Ready? To the right. 1, 2, keep those eyes up. 3, 4, good. 5, 6, easy movement. 7, I think one of the biggest myths that I undertake that I wish was true. Rest. The harder I work, the faster I go. It's a myth. Sometimes you have to work easy in order to get gains, in order to get fast. So sometimes you'll be like, should I skip mobility or should I skip a hard run? It's when you're going to have to really make a decision. The more mobility we do, the more gentle strength we do, the more you're going to skip the run and come to mobility, because the next run will be way better for sure. Okay, Jared, down on your back, down on your stomach. Everybody, you're gonna go down on your stomach from this position, okay? So I know he's become a cyclist, my brother here. And what's happened is his upper back has become really stuck. So we're trying really hard to get more motion in his back. So the first step that I'm gonna take now that his fascial system's warmed up, he's warmed up, is we're gonna start getting after very specific muscle activation. So what I want you to do, guys, join us here, because if you ride a bike, we all need this. I want you to take two hands way over your head like you're on a cliff. So reach way over, Jared. There you go. Fingertips on the ground. Make sure that your hands are out about 45 degrees from your shoulders. From right there, we want to set an anchor with the lower body. So the knees come together, the toes come together, and the heels are apart. From this position, I want you to breathe, expand your rib cage, all at the same time of pulling your belly button away from the floor. You're getting a very, very deep abdominal contraction here, very skinny. So you're breathing and you're pulling your belly button away from the floor. This is not Beachbody. This is not Peloton strength workout. This is performance-based strength. You need to learn to breathe and stay long through your belly so that you can hold posture on the back half of the marathon, the back half of the half marathon, the back half of your day if you're a parent. Good. Keep breathing with your belly button into your spine and away from the floor. One more big breath, and on your next exhale, I want you to lift both hands off the ground. Ready? Exhale, hands off the ground. Lift and hold. Push your forehead into the ground right now. 3 big breaths. 1, your head is on the ground. 2, and 1 more big breath. Hands to the ground. Immediately, when the hands hit the ground, the head is lifting off the ground. Keep breathing with your belly button. Ready? Forehead off the ground. That's it. Keep looking straight down, though. Don't look up. Hold that. Keep breathing. Belly button away from the floor. Belly button away from the floor. 1 more big breath. On your next exhale, keep the head up. Lift the hands up. 3 big breaths. You got this. Breathe away from your belly button. This is so hard. You're doing so good. 2, 1 more big breath, and 3. Good. All right. Slowly get yourself out of that position. Go ahead and stand up. That sets the stage for starting to get length through your psoas muscle. Crazy that your legs actually attach all the way to your rib cage. So think about it. If we want glute activation and we're not breathing with motion, we can't expand the rib cage and create space between the pubic bone and the rib cage. We are getting shortness in the psoas muscle, which means we are getting glute inhibition, which means they're not working that well, which means we can't function as strong as we want to. Next move, Jared, you can hop on the mat here. We're gonna go into a gorilla lift with foundation training once more. We're going to use a prop, so go ahead and grab your foam roller. Get a nice wide stance. So Jared and I are showing you, you've got 2 foam rollers. I've got a 3-footer that pretty much everybody has. He's got a Roll Recovery, really favorite friends of mine, beautiful company, committed athletes for sure. Okay, nice wide stance. Use your thumb and your pinky to set the space between the ribs and the hips, and I just explained why that was so important. Drop your hips to the back about 3 inches. From right here, take your hands back into that long wing, and I want you to pull your fingertips away from your ears. And that's going to give you tension through your upper trap. Tuck your chin back down and in. So we don't want any forward head. Pull the head back. From right there, we're going to scoop the hands forward, keep the clavicles open, drop the elbows. And from right here, we are going to forward fold to the top of the foam roller. From right there, see if you can push the hips back, weight on your heels, and see if you can create as much space between your fingertips and your tailbone. From right there, let's go 2 big breaths and see if you can feel the tension that comes into your hamstrings as you expand your rib cage. Push your hips back, Jen. That's it. Good. A little bit of cueing goes a long way. Hold. Now, from right there, that's a lot of tension. Let's walk the hands back to the knees. Put the hands on the knees. Finish there with full support. Push yourself all the way out of that. Good. Take another big breath. Create space. Now you're starting to understand what anchoring is. You know what space is. Come into long wing. Scoop the hands forward. Chin back, chest up. Drop forward into that forward fold. Should be a little bit easier this time. We're going to add the weight of the head. So I want you to widen your hands out and let your head drop. Look back between your knees. Push your hips back. Put weight on your heels. Good. You can sit on your bicycle for hours once you start mastering the forward fold. The low back feels so happy. We get you out of pain. Good. From right there, walk your hands back to your knees again. Come right back up. Shake that out. Both feet. We're going to come a little bit of a narrower stance. So Jay, stay right where you are. This time, we're going to go ahead and let the toes open up just a little bit. That's going to open up the inside of the hip, and it's going to let us drop into our bodyweight squat. So your knees now can flare out. I want you to keep your upper back nice and high. See if you can sit up almost straight with your fingertips touching the ground. Come straight back up. So that's another one of those measurement tools. How easy can you get into a bodyweight squat? We're heading for the barn here. We're heading home. So we're going to do some squats. Squatting is a pattern. It is not defined by bar on the back, bar on the front, goblet, kettlebell, anything. It's a pattern in which the hips, the knees, and the ankles all flex, and then we come right out of it. So Jared has some nice flexibility where he can drop really, really deep and come back out of it. As long as you can control it, we would consider it mobility. If you can get into that position, but you can't comfortably bring yourself out of it, it would be a little bit more towards flexibility. And in my world of performance, it would be useless. So if you can't move in and out of it, that's really the difference between a stretching routine and flexibility and maybe some of the yoga stuff that is hard to get into the position, and it's equally as hard to get out of the position. Mobility and performance-based training, we need full neurological control. Okay, so let's go 10 bodyweight squats, feet just outside of shoulder width, feet totally turned out just a little bit. Drop into that squat, keep the chest up, come right back out. We want the butt just at about the height of the knees, and we should always, for our entire lives, for some of us older athletes, we need to be able to get all of our fingertips to the ground and get back up. 4 more. 1, 2, good. 3, good. 1 more. And 4. Okay, so now we know we have that depth. Grab your foam roller. We're going to go into a squat, and we're going to go into some alternating arm lifts, which is going to show us this ability to just let the shoulder blades dance a little bit on the ribs. Okay? Toes a little bit out. It's just easier to get into the squat, and that's okay. Right there, just to the top, knees are out. We're going to turn palms up. And from right there, we're just going to go right next to the ears. 2, 3, another movement. Push your hips back from foundation training. I use it daily in my lifting routines, as well as for recovery. The beauty of it is it's really built for your life. It's built for every single human. Let's go 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 1 more, and good. And your hands could go on your knees and shake that out. We're going to do 1 more set of those gorilla lifts. To just give a little more context to some of the athletes that I work with, that you're doing the same workout that Taylor did before she won the grand final this weekend. She's going to change women's triathlon. because they're going to have to get stronger as she moves up in distance. She rode a road bike. How did her and Emma's times compare?
I think, yeah, she came out with a 2-minute gap. She held pretty much close to 2 minutes. I think it was marginal.
On a road bike. And I got to get Emma stronger so that she can hang with Taylor. But they do very similar workouts until we start really getting into the meat of what each athlete needs. Taylor is strong enough right now. We just need to keep her healthy and mobile. I was really impressed with Brittany's ride yesterday at Timberman. Rinda Carfrey changing from a felt to a trek, coming back 7 months after having her son Finn. It was a beautiful ride. And then, of course, followed it up with a nice second place finish. So that Canadian girl is legit.
Pretty quick run, 1:22.
Yeah, high 22 maybe. But we're still not even working elastic energy. So if you're following my Instagram, you'll watch Rennie's progress through the months. Okay, externally rotate the feet just a little bit. Nice big breath. Drop into that squat only to the height of the foam roller. I'll always use our time in between sets to just share stories. Or we're going to stay down for 10. Load up those heels. Push the hips back. 7, 8, 9, 10. You want to stay down a little more? Feels pretty good, huh? Good. Let's go 3 more. 1, each side. 2, hips back. And 3, good. Hands to the knees. Push yourself out of that and shake it out. All right, let's go 1 more movement. Let's grab that foam roller. We're going down into a half kneeling position again today. So we haven't lifted a weight. How do you feel so far?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? Yeah, me too. I'm like twice Jared's age. Okay, when you use the half kneeling position, you have a choice on the back toe. You can either tuck the big toe under or you can lay the foot flat. If you struggle with big toe flexibility, like that hurts you, I want you to try and get at least a couple of reps there. We'll talk about the big toe in another episode, but we need you to get to that position with comfort. And we can get you there. It just takes a little bit of time. Okay, so if you want to go flat, go flat. You want to tuck it under, tuck it under. We're going to go 2 hands overhead. Right here. We're just going to work through the lats, through the hips. Jared, turn and match me here. Yep. And now we're working big breath, hip drive. 3, we're going 10. 4, 5, 6, 7. My rib cage feels great. 8, 9, 10. We're going to just pivot, hit the other side, tuck the big toe under. Remember, we're not going into the back seat. We're going up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice big rib cage. 8, 9, and 10. Good. Change legs again. Right hip down if you can get there. Foam roller on the right hip. We're still going to knee drive, and we're going to drop that foam roller like a bucket of water over the left shoulder. Ready? Here we go. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now from those gorilla lifts, your shoulder blade is going to move better because there's muscles that are now switched on. I don't know what number, 9?
10.
Thank you. Switch to the other side. I think we have a future in this.
Yeah. Sure.
Right leg.
Helps.
Right leg up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Good. 4. Up over the shoulder. See that back arm is nice and long. 6. If you thought swimming was easy before, oh my God, it's going to be so much easier now. Is that 8?
10.
10. Good. Jeez, we keep Jared around just because I can't count for anything. So
I can only count if I don't have to do anything else.
All right, we got one more thing I want to do. We're just going to go right into a standing split squat. So we're coming with no elastic energy. You're going to tuck that big toe under, 2 hands straight overhead, and just stand straight up. So again, a full body activation and straight back down. So from there, If you watch here, a lot of times what will happen when we do that is this knee wants to go out. This lateral tightness of the hip is an issue with endurance athletes. You're never going to solve it because you're always going to train. Mondays is all about keeping things pretty much in line with each other so that tomorrow's run is spectacular, right? So we're going to go here, and I want you to anchor in. We now can speak the same language. We're anchoring in as you stand up, nice and clean, very, very stable. 2, lead with your hands. You're in streamline. 3, hips are decoupled. Back hip bone is down. 4, we got 10. Quality of movement, 5. See if you can walk your rib cage even further from your hip. 6, 7, take a big breath. 8, anchor in. 9, and 10, and step out of that. So where this plays into your running is the cleanliness of the landings, and that you can actually rotate internally into that lead leg. And that's a really, really important place to be able to get. All right, right knee in front, 2 hands up. Load your big toe on your lead leg. That's going to help you drive into the anchor. Ready? Here we go. 1, push up. 2, long through the lats. You can see Jared's hands come forward just a little bit, and it's because of the tightness in his upper back. We'll keep working on that. Nothing changes overnight. And I'm also going to want to put some strength into Jared's upper back, because once it mobilizes, are you counting?
7.
Good. Once we get mobility back to his upper back, then we have to build strength into it so that it'll actually stay. Okay. Jared, what you think?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
When we talk about you guys as our community, we want you to just stick with us, and you have to trust the process.